Hi, I'm Ernest Collins.
I am Shayna Taylor.
Hi, I'm Pierre Nicholson.
Hi, I'm Riley Knox.
I'm Alvin King, and this is We Speak. Like putting on a comfortable pair of shoes, like Sunday dinner at Grandma's house, we are sliding back into the fold. Welcome everyone to a third season of We Speak. Season 3 kicked off with our new segment called We Speak Spotlight, hosted by our own Miss Riley Knox. Riley did a fantastic job, so stay tuned for more segments of We Speak Spotlight, the season along with some other surprises we have in store as our program moves forward. Today's show is all about looking back into 2015 and what a year it was. From the trials and tribulation of America's disgraced TV dad Bill Cosby to Rachel Dolezal's black versus white moment, from the confinement of the Kentucky clerk Kim Davis to the birth of Caitlyn Jenner. Police brutality, racial tension, and gun violence took center stage as the terror attacks in Paris shocked the world. The infamous Phi Kappa Phi fraternity's racial chants, a Virginia reporter and her cameraman murdered on live television, the riots in Baltimore after the death of Freddie Gray. A gunman kills 9 people as they worshiped in a Charleston, South Carolina church, and the historic removal of the Confederate flag in South Carolina. The Supreme Court's ruling on same-sex marriage, a banner year for the Boy Scouts of America ending their ban on homosexuals, and all this right before Pope Francis's unprecedented visit to the United States. Oprah Winfrey becomes spokeswoman for Weight Watchers. Billionaire Donald Trump's, shall we say, unconventional race to the White House. Raven Simone and her continual bout with foot in the mouth disease. The unfortunate death of Whitney Houston's only daughter, Bobby Christina Brown. And let us not forget, Kim Kardashian pushes out another offspring. 2015 was quite an eventful 12 months. So panel, I ask you, what was one of your more memorable events in 2015?
Of all of those, I just,
There's so many options.
I'm like, oh my God, there are so many options. I think for me, the most memorable probably isn't on that list, and it's just the pure Shayna thing, the Wiz Live. That was my most memorable. Love.
Yeah.
I've been waiting like 40 years to see something like that. So
I had a couple of issues with it, but I'm glad you did.
I will say the same thing. I was excited, like you, big thing. I mean, it's hard to remake a cast like the Scarecrow. I'm looking for this big elaborate thing from Scarecrow, which is hard. You can't touch Michael Jackson. I mean, it's really hard. But I think they did a good job overall. It's like when The Wiz came out. A lot of people were saying it's not the same or they changed things. You have to try to upgrade and make things, the whole purpose was to try to bring some new energy and try to get the new generation, like The Wizard of Oz we saw, and then The Wiz came out. We were really excited. We were trying to excite, I guess they're trying to excite the next generation. So switching things up. So we may not appreciate as much we did. I did. I had a great time. I
I
still
don't
watch
think it was
now.
for us. I don't really think it was so much for the people who love the first one as much as it was to
The new
bring in the new
generation.
generation.
Yeah.
Because they really made it hip. They really made it current. I was just happy to see a major network
Right.
Yeah.
invest
that
so
way. I
much
know.
money into a black
And I think the
production.
storm was just awesome.
Major
The
kudos to
dancers.
NBC for
Yeah,
that
the
one.
I was
costumes
happy
were
to see it,
everything.
but I wanted to see the original Wiz right afterwards. I don't know, it just made me want to go back and see the original Wiz and see Michael Jackson.
But see, the kid in me, I messed up because I saw it first. I had everybody over and we watched The Wiz first so you could understand.
Oh, you
and then see the
disappointed them.
Oh, they had a great time.
Well, you would have been really disappointed if they had shown the original with Lena Horne singing "If You Believe" at the end, because that was one of the
Most
moments
pivotal
that I
moments.
just couldn't.
Well, she was really pitchy, and she missed some notes.
I think she was actually in the spirit
I
when
feel
she
like
did
Simon
it. I
Cowell.
mean,
Yeah.
She was really pitchy. She missed some notes. It's like
It's
American Idol.
Lena Horne, that's how she sings.
No. I'm saying the new girl.
Uzo
Okay.
Duba.
On the
Uzo
live
Duba.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she missed-
she did.
She could have been a lot better
She
than
missed
she
some
was.
stuff.
Yeah,
Well, I'm proud of her to have that. I mean, to come from nowhere, be nobody, and just get all this recognition. So
I'm sorry, she has an Emmy, so she's not nobody.
Well, I think he was talking
Well,
about
she's
Shanice.
crazy. Well, you're talking about
Shanice.
Uzo
Shanice.
Duba.
Shanice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Shanice.
Shanice.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Shanice. She's
Yeah.
talking about the girl
Yes,
who played
she was great.
Dorothy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kudos to
Yeah,
her.
I speak
Kudos to her.
earnest. So I
You do.
Yes,
I
you
speak
do.
earnest.
you do.
Okay.
That was somewhere else.
So, anyone else have anything that happened to them in 2015 that was memorable?
Well, it didn't happen to me, but I identify with it. The whole we talked about it a little bit. Caitlyn Jenner. I think 2015 was like the year of the transgender people, and that's my people. So of course I'm really excited about that. And I was really, I mean, it was just sort of like a landmark time for people who are transgender. So that's one of the things that I really loved in 2015 or
That was huge.
that resonated with
I
me.
was amazed to see, in that same vein, the amount of people who have children who are now identified as transgender. 4 years old and 5 years old, and they're really seeing this. It's almost unprecedented, but I'm sure it's not new. But it's
No,
a new
it's not.
world.
You're right. It's not new. It's just that it's now in the, that's created a dialogue.
And Caitlyn Jenner has made it almost acceptable in the household now to talk about it, because at first it was just taboo. You just knew it was, you knew the word exists, transgender, but
Yeah.
you didn't talk about it.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't know exactly what it was.
What it
so
was, right.
Yeah, and then it pushed a lot of other people to talk about it, and a lot of other people to come out, and a lot of other people to take notice as to who we are and that we're here and we're not going anywhere. So
Education.
yeah.
Well, you?
I think one of my highlights, I guess, would be one of the many was Pope Francis. I found in my community, which is predominantly African American, I say about 95% African American, and to walk to Suitland Parkway from my house was like maybe a 3 or 4 minute walk, and to see everybody out there with signs of color, and to see the president pass by, and then to see the vice president, and to actually see the Pope, it was some kind of magical feel. It was like a magical feeling. It was really inspiring. It was different, and I couldn't believe that I was actually caught up in the middle of all that. But that was one of my
Pope
highlights.
Francis visit. Well, he definitely brought a lot of revenue to Washington, D.C.
Yes, he did.
And traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, and to see the
Right,
hand. I
right.
actually got to
Oh,
see
yeah.
the hand.
And
So
some of us
it was
got
cool.
days off work because of it. So
Lucky you guys.
I did.
Go
So-
Pope.
And he used a really cool car.
Go Pope.
He did.
Yeah,
the
the
Fiat.
Fiat.
That's
Remember
why,
that?
That's
He
why
did
I
not
knew.
want.
Yeah, I thought
Hail
about
to
you
the
too.
Fiat
That's
people.
about you too.
I'm a Fiatter.
Okay.
I'm a
That's
Fiat.
right. You are.
She's a Gucci
I'm a
Fiat.
Yeah.
I'm a Fiat. We can't all fit.
Okay.
He wouldn't have been able to get in with security, but I could have dropped the top and he could have just waved.
How about you, Pierre?
Well, mine was not one that was listed, but I saw a person weaving on the highway, and it was amazing because it was a middle-aged woman, and I thought something was wrong, and when I got beside her, she was eating a bowl of cereal with one hand, and she had her spoon in the other hand. So she was driving with her knee on Route 66. So I was amazed. I was like, this is not texting, but it's distracted driving nonetheless. And I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. So I saw, it just made me focus on how many people actually are distracted
Did you
while they're
call the
driving.
police?
I couldn't because
Because then he would have been
I
a
didn't
distracted
wanna
driver
be a
too.
distracted
driver
But
too.
wait. In her defense, or
I mean,
whoever
you know-
that person's defense is, I drive all kind of vehicles with my knees, and I can do it in a safe. I do.
well,
You
she
had to
wasn't
see it.
driving.
I don't
Cereal.
want you to tell people that.
She wasn't
Eating
safe.
cereal with a spoon.
Well, not cereal.
She wasn't driving
Coffee,
safely.
Reaching. Okay. Well,
She was
okay,
going.
the
That's what
difference. Okay.
drew my
Okay,
attention
then
to her.
that's
She was.
different. That's
She kept
different.
going out, and I was like, "What's wrong with this lady?"
Interesting.
So the worst part is me in true black girl form. He said, I saw this woman on the freeway weaving. I'm like, she was doing hair in the car, like on the freeway.
Makeup and
Like,
yeah,
was it a sew-in or was it a bond? Like a hair weave.
She was
That's the
driving,
first
doing
thing
the
I
weave.
thought about. I was like, she was
That-
weaving?
I was gonna say,
So like she was really trying to make her money. Like she was weaving. And the people were like, what?
No, she was. weaving in and out of traffic, but she was eating cereal. and
I'm sorry.
And you didn't call the police. I'm still there. You did not call the police on
Well,
that.
actually, I kept saying, well, I really would like to take her picture, but then what would that make me? I mean, I wanted to take my phone and just pick it up and take a picture real quick and say, this woman is actually, it was almost unbelievable. I didn't have the, I was like, am I really seeing this? She's driving, but she's holding a bowl of cereal and she's eating. I'm like, what are you doing? How are you doing this? And she was using her.
So it's not just texting and driving.
No, it's distracting.
Eating and driving, doing makeup and driving, your hair and driving.
Right.
Weaving
driving
and
with
driving.
your knees.
Weaving and driving.
Oh, I've seen
Weaving
it
and
all. Putting on the eyeliner, driving down the highway, and I'm like, I don't.
That's ridiculous.
That's every day.
That's ridiculous.
Right, every day.
We do that without weaving.
I think people take for granted that you're operating a large piece of machinery, and
People get hurt.
It's a deadly piece of machinery, and you're putting on eyeliner. Now, I love eyeliner as much as anybody else.
No.
Clearly. But
No way.
in a car,
No way.
while
Oh,
you're
they do
driving,
it.
that's ridiculous.
They do it.
I could never do it anyway, but that's ridiculous.
Well, I have my main event for this year was, I know you guys, we've been talking about it for 3 years, but I finally graduated from school. So that was like, believe me.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yay.
I mean, just to hear the sound of trumpets and in cap and gown, that whole
Pomp and
pop and
circumstance.
circumstance. I was a hot mess. I told the woman next to me who was graduating, I said, I'm a crier. And she said, oh, no, don't worry about it. When it started, I was bent over crying, and my aunt's texting me saying, if you don't hold your bald head up, we're going to act like we don't know you when it's over. So that was my highlight of this year.
Well deserved.
So now,
Congratulations.
will we get to see you more often? Do we get rid of the excuse that I've got class, I got to study, I got this? Or are you moving on to another degree and now we're not going to see you again?
All of it. All of it.
Okay.
All of it. But
when my friend came up to me and told me that Sean Powell was on the list, I took out my phone and I called him. That's really when it hit me, and I was like, okay, this is real. I'm a New York City firefighter, and I responded to 9/11, and I am a Muslim.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.
We've got a big problem, and we need your help.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent,
It's a crime. It's wrong.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
with people holding him up by both arms like a scene out of an old movie, what do you guys think about what some are calling the obvious sympathetic perp walk? You guys know what perp walk is. You know, they use that when they're holding criminals. When Bill Cosby was led in for the arraignment, what do you think about that whole picture, that whole image, that whole...
I wasn't moved by
that day, that moment.
I wasn't moved by it. I actually, you know, he's innocent until proven guilty. And, you know, I just, it's a shame to think that he actually did this. I mean, it tarnishes your view of everybody's dad, because that's what Bill Cosby was in my eyes. I mean, he just set an example of what a father should be, a great American, a black American, beautiful historian. And it's just going all down the drain. But, you know, if he's guilty, I have no...
I really feel sorry right now for his wife and his children. because they're being thrust into the spotlight because of it. And I mean, hearing that his wife has to testify, I can't even imagine what that household, I'm sure it's been chaotic with everything that's been going on, but now we're at that place where we have to hear stories from people who really hold him near and dear to their heart and possibly know that he's guilty. And they have to testify. I really don't want to see that, but at the end of the day, if you did it, you should go to jail. You should be held accountable for what you did, and you know that's that.
You think they know whether he's guilty or not?
I think they do.
You think? What do you think, Shayna?
You mean they meaning his family?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they know what their dad is.
I'm interested to know what Shayna has, because
Well,
you
no,
always have a.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, because I watch a lot of shows, what I find out is that the wife always knows. The
Well,
wife
you know what?
always knows, because she can pick up and sense a lot of different things, whether they say something, whether they feed into it or not.
Yeah.
But we as women have something in the back of our minds and in the inside deep pits of our hearts
Yes.
where we may not believe it, we may not want to believe it, but we know.
Know the truth, yeah. And then there's also that whole like black family secrets thing, you know, where in black families there's secrets that people hold on to and everything gets pushed under the rug and nobody wants to talk about.
That's a lot of
molestation and rape and all the kinds of things that happen. And I think they know.
Yeah.
Well, the worst part is I hate that Bill Cosby is now synonymous with Cliff Huxtable. Like what he did on that
it's not the same
show
thing.
should be completely independent.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
no reason that they should have taken away everybody's royalties and pulled the show off
Right.
the shelves and
Right.
off all the
And
stations. It's crazy because there's a double standard.
Right.
I mean, Kramer ended up being the biggest racist ever publicly. They had all of those videos and audio of him just screaming the N-word out in the middle of a club. They didn't pull Seinfeld off.
Right.
They didn't say, oh, Kramer's a racist. I mean, I get it's not illegal to be a racist, but he hasn't.
I wonder if it was
he hasn't been
actually
charged
Jerry
with
that
anything.
did it. Would it be any different?
Well, I
'Cause
think Kramer was one of the,
supporting actor.
but he was
Well,
one
he
of the
was
biggest
big,
characters
but
on
it
the
wasn't,
show.
the show wasn't called Kramer though.
Well, but truly,
Like Cosby, you know what I mean?
I later on in the show, we're going to talk about a particular actor where, you know, he has done something that's pretty public, but his show is still running. And so and there are a lot. So there's a lot of double standard going on there. I agree with Shayna. His shows should have nothing to do with what has happened or what he's done or being accused of doing.
So do you feel the same?
He hasn't even been found. Okay, so if he was found guilty,
right.
I could say maybe we can start having conversations about pulling the show.
Right.
Yeah.
But he hasn't even been convicted of anything.
Yeah.
He
Right.
hasn't
Supposed to
been
be
found
innocent
guilty of
until proven
anything.
Now,
See,
what
the
about
point
his
is-
degrees?
we
I
put
mean, they
the
took
doc-
his
They started pulling
degrees.
everything
Pulling
back.
everything.
Now, here's the other part. The
They
funny
didn't give him
part
his
about
money
that,
back, though, of all
they
the
did
stuff.
not
Yeah.
give him any of his
Yeah.
donations back.
Right.
They didn't mention any of that.
No,
He's
they're
given
not.
millions and millions and millions,
Some school, I think, is talking about it.
but they didn't give any of that back.
They didn't give any of his money back.
The thing is, we put too much emphasis on actors. He's an actor. That's a job. So when I look at The Cosby Show, I don't see Bill Cosby or Clara Huxtable or any of the Huxtable children as what they are in reality. Todd Bridges was a horrible person, but in different strokes.
He was a great actor.
He was a great actor. So I try to separate the two. It did kind of sadden me to see him walking down that path because now this guy's old. He's
Right.
old. He's pretty much seen that. What you've done, that was a long time ago. And most of it's past the statute of limitations or whatever. But the point is, the man has suffered enough. Make him pay jail. I mean, jail time, is that really going to help anything? Is it really going to change anything?
No.
Well, that's the question that a lot of people ask, regardless of what the crime is. You know, the defendant side will definitely ask that, but that's not necessarily something they're going to consider.
And then all these women coming out at one time. What kind of party did we decide to have all of a sudden? When one comes out, everybody comes out at the center.
Shayna, you're going to
just-
appreciate this because someone today, I was watching TMZ Live, and Charlemagne the God said, he said, I don't know who in the Illuminati that he pissed off.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
But they're like, I don't know who in the Illuminati that he pissed off, but he must
try
have
to
been
be
somebody
good
of
this year. I
Illuminati.
would try to be
no,
good
I
this
know
year.
you all. You believe in Illuminati.
But because I think women deal with so much every single day,
Right.
we know that there's power in numbers, and for us, we have to do everything in groups. So it's like if it was a group of women here, we're all on TV and we're sitting here in Spanx, all it takes is for one of them to pull them off, and then we're all gonna be like, "Woo, Lord,
Okay.
I feel so much better. I'm glad but they were all feeling or thinking the same thing. It just takes one person to stand up
To bring
in
it
front
out.
of the world.
And then
And
think, it's Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
I mean, these women are older, and some of them may be has-beens.
Yeah, and
It's time for them to relive, get a piece of, get my life started, get some energy back in there. Hey, he did that to me too. I mean, it was 50 years ago, but hey.
Well, we're going to keep Bill Cosby in our prayers as we move to a commercial break. Hopefully, well, I'm going to keep him in my prayers because until he's been proven guilty, he's innocent, whether I think he's done it or not.
Right.
Until he has been proven innocent, I'm guilty. I'm going to keep him in my prayers. So we're going to take a commercial break and be right back. All right. Thank you.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
How long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Mom!
What?
You can't find Ichabod.
What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
I had a rough day at work. I don't need you hassling me about my smoking.
Hey, I just smoke when I'm out with my friends.
Yeah, cigarettes are expensive, but I work, I pay my bills, I can afford it. You know, you gotta die something. Might as well be cancer.
What are you passing along to your kids? Quit for yourself, for your family, for your legacy. For free help, call or go online.
Just a little cough. Nothing to worry about.
It just got really, did he move a light? Something just got really hot.
The air just came on and it starts off hot.
I'm reading now.
This is a nice bracelet.
That was.
Oh, I know about
that. That was nice, you guys. And that was
Both of
very,
them.
very. I've never been here.
Especially the black one.
Yeah,
I've only watched.
The chef.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
It is.
Can I hold your phone? You want me to do it?
That's definitely dancing. Definitely dancing, Caesar. Put that set. Oh my, I'm not gonna do that again.
Uh-oh. Don't, Shayna. I'm sure that would show. Don't.
heart doesn't see race.
Love has no age limit.
We are neighbors and best friends.
We all have different religions, but we have universal love as well.
I love my sister.
Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Could you get an animal?
Could I get an animal? Hell no.
Do
I look like an animal person?
We play hide and seek on a three-story house.
Because the first dog that chews my shoes, I'm going to kill it.
Oh, so you guys you have a yard?
Oh.
Okay, that's easier. Wow.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Much needed commercial break. We've gotten a lot of feedback on our Facebook page about our show that we did last season, and I wanted to share some information with you. Can we start all over again? Because I was getting ready to say, I was like this. What's going on? Wait a minute, hold on.
We got
mascara purple.
Hold on. Am I?
The lashes are purple.
In
are the extensions?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our show. Our last commercial break, we were pretty fiery talking about the politics in our world right now. We've gotten a lot of feedback on our Facebook page about a show we did last season on what should and should not be posted on Facebook and forms of other social media. I'm going to read for you some of the comments that were made on the page. One post read, "I hate seeing fight videos on Facebook because you never see the beginning, so you don't know who to root for."
How about root for non-violence?
Another comment said, another viewer wrote, "I don't care where you're going and I don't care what you're eating."
Amen.
That's somebody who doesn't go anywhere and who doesn't eat. It's an anorexic who doesn't travel.
And this last comment that our producer shared with us is, and still another chimed in with, "Sharing your personal information on Facebook and Instagram is your right as an American." So looking back on the show, do you guys feel the same way that some of these comments have come in about issues on Facebook?
It's a double standard. I mean, people complain about Big Brother's watching us and they don't want cameras outside on the streets, but yet and still on Facebook, you get home and somebody's put, "I was with Pierre at the grocery store. I was with Pierre at Foot Locker." You see that they've tagged you everywhere you went, and it's like, who cares? Who needs to know where I'm at all day, every day, and what I'm eating all day? I don't like that, me personally.
I'm right there with you.
I don't.
I never take a real-time picture. So if you see me post a picture, I am not where I was when I took that picture. Like, I just snapped a picture here. I did not post it. I might post it tomorrow or whenever. But people will say to me, "Oh my God, you're in so-and-so. I'm there." And I'm like, I'm not there. I was then. I don't like real-time pictures. All my friends know, do not tag me in, "Oh, I was with Riley at whatever restaurant." I don't want anybody to know where I am at that particular time. I just think we live in a world of oversharing. I don't mind sharing, but like, I don't want you to know where I am right at that moment. Because I feel like if you're looking for me, you're going to find me, and I may not want you to find me, you know? And there's this new thing, well, I don't know how new it is, but like Periscope. Have you heard of it? Okay. So I was wondering what was the point of it, right? And so one of my friends was telling me about this, you know, it's live, and you see a video that's live, and it's what that person is doing right now. So I was like, well, show it to me. Like, how does it work? So she shows me, and there's this girl that's like, "So, hi guys, I'm at the grocery store. Yep, I'm just shopping at the grocery store. I'm about to go in right now with my cart." And I'm like, well, what's the point of that? Nothing. It's so boring. I don't care that you're at the grocery store. At least something eventful happening at the grocery store that doesn't normally happen. I'm like, and so this is what people are doing. We're just sitting there watching people. Reality TV is better than that. Like, I just don't understand.
Well, you said something in, oh my God, season 1 about Facebook, how you hate people posting their food.
No, I hate people posting their food if it's a bunch of brown mush. Like, if it's beautifully laid on a plate, if it's beautifully plated, and it's gorgeous and colorful and beautiful. Like I just posted a picture of these gorgeous artichokes I had the other night at dinner. But don't post a picture of, just because it tastes good doesn't mean that it looks good. Like, you know, you might think, oh, God, this is so good, I slaved over this, and it's a bunch
a bowl
of brown.
of peas you're not
I
interested
can't even
in.
make out what it is.
Okay.
Right.
It's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I tend to post food, but I post restaurants because in my mind, I'm writing a restaurant blog. Yeah, in my mind, I'm writing a review. I'm a critic. I'm a foodie. So I want to tell people about great places to go, and then if I'm looking for some place to go, I'm like, oh wait, I remember Raleigh posted a picture about this beautiful dish at this restaurant. I'm gonna go.
Well, I think this Christmas was the first time I got sick of myself taking selfies and posting them on Facebook. I think I posted a selfie near Christmas Day saying, "This is the last selfie. I'm sick of selfieing myself." I felt like I got to a place where, Alvin, you have really overdid it. And I like selfies. I mean, you know, there are days when I just feel like I just want to, you know, do it and post them. So I'm okay with that, but there are some, you know, I think people should use certain types of etiquette on Facebook. And I think that's what's missing. Yes. Facebook decorum. People should really use that. Some people really don't know how to use it. And something on Facebook is really teeing me off. These people, I call them like they're little people who have their little cheerleaders, where if you post something and they say something, a friend of yours say something, and then someone from the background is going to come out and hit like what they said, like their little cheerleader, like, oh, you know what, I got a problem with that. You know, I don't.
Give me an example.
Okay. Wow. I hope he's not watching.
Make something up, please.
Okay, I'm gonna make something up. I'm gonna make something up. I posted something this week. Actually, I want to see the Luther Vandross. I want to see
a biopic.
I want to see something. Luther Vandross. That story has not been told, and I said, well, there's a gentleman. His last name is Pierce. I'm sorry, Wendell Pierce. I said he would be the actor who I would most like to see play Luther. So another friend chimed in and said, well, yeah, I'd like to see the story too if they told all the story. So, okay, but, you know, I went, okay, me too. And so another friend comes back and said, which is their opinion, a friend, well, I really don't want to see it because people are nosy and they just want to get into his business and all that kind of stuff. And so one of his cheerleaders hit like. And I was like, well,
I can't with you.
I was like this. I was like this. Well, wait a minute. First of all, I don't know where you're coming from, but I don't want you putting any negative press out there that's what I'm about. There's a lot to Luther Vandross that people need to see. There are people who enjoy his music, this generation, that don't know what they don't know how big his productions were, and if you went to Luther Vandross' show, what it was really about. And a lot of that people don't know. But the way this person commented and his cheerleader chimed in,
I didn't get that from
But could he fry chicken,
I
though?
got it from that.
I didn't get that at all.
But could he fry chicken?
Could he fry some
so
chicken?
you were
That's my
feeling that
question.
he was thinking that you were one of the nosy people that wanted to get into
I want to
his
make
life?
it clear that I'm not one of the
You know, he had
I didn't get that out of that.
Cashmere
I
walls.
wanted to make sure that nobody got it.
He had like cashmere walls.
He was extravagant.
Luther
That's what I was
Vandross?
gonna
He was
say.
And crystal, like
extravagant.
he would give you like if you went to his house and he gave you Kool-Aid, it would be like Kool-Aid and like Lalique.
Giant
Like,
goblet.
and like yes, like crystal and like
He
it
was like the
gorgeous.
Black Liberace.
Yeah,
He was like
exactly.
That's pretty much
and
what he
that's
was.
a story that everything doesn't have to be about somebody's bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Or because you want to hear it
The
all.
Black Liberace.
You know?
I know what you're getting at.
That's exactly
That's a movie.
That's what he
exactly
was.
what I was
Well,
And that's the thing about Liberace. When people were taking their family, their kids to see Liberace, or when these women were going, oh my God, Liberace is amazing. And it's like, are you serious? He's like the biggest queen ever.
Exactly.
I guess that's what that person was getting at.
A la Trey Songz.
Allah. I
You see him
mean,
and they're
so
like-
what's wrong with that? He was extravagant, he was bold, but when he came out, he helped people make babies and through his music. And I thought that
I was like,
a,
that's
you know,
true.
I thought that
That's
was a
true.
wonderful thing. So that was my.
Well, I'm gonna like what
Michael Jackson did too. Rock with you.
I'm gonna like what Pierre and Riley said. I don't like people to, when I'm someplace like I went to Texas Roadhouse, and somebody post. Well, I saw something with me tagged in it, and it was a friend that we went to Texas Roadhouse with before, but it was a year ago, and I was like, wow, that's just, who has that kind of time? But a year ago, we should do it again. I don't like people I don't like people to know where I am. I'm like you. If I'm somewhere,
or at least ask.
Is it okay
We
if
all
I
go
ask?
out to
We're
dinner,
back to etiquette.
and we're
Ask
at
my
this
permission.
wonderful restaurant. By the time I get home, I see that I have been at the restaurant, and we went to the store, I went to CVS, and I'm like,
That's too much information.
I don't.
Too much
No, what if I didn't want somebody to know
But
this?
don't we know which of our friends are going to do that? And that's when you sit there, you're like, don't tag me.
Like we do every
Oh
Sunday.
yes,
Don't
I say it all the time.
You know
but do people
remember
realize how
saying that.
dangerous that has the potential to be?
For
I
you,
love you dearly,
absolutely,
but
because you
don't-
have a
don't.
huge following and fan club.
Well,
of
not just
people.
for me. I mean, yes, but like,
Me
say I
too.
wanted to rob you, Shayna. I know you have fabulous Louboutins, and I know that we don't wear the same size.
Right.
However, they have great resale value. So I wanted
I
to
can wear
rob
Shayna's
you.
size.
Right. So I still didn't prepare. But anyway, so say I wanted to rob you. All I have to do is go on. Oh, she's taping We Speak right now, so I can just go ahead and go to her house and she's not home right. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like people need to know. And if if I was stalking you. You know, and you say I have a huge following. Yes, well, what if I got a
Absolutely, yeah.
stalker that is
Well, that's
looking
happened.
for
Yeah,
Well,
where
a
you
lot
are
of
right
the
now?
stars and things like that. That's
That
happened.
happens every day.
Their homes have gotten broken into because they're posting, oh,
You
we're
know they're
down
out of
here,
town. You know that.
Yeah, we're at the kids, we're in a different country, we're at the beach, and blah, blah, blah.
If I'm doing a show and I want you to come to my show, that might be different. But if I'm posting about the show, then it's probably too late for you to get there anyway. But the point is it's just it has a potential to be dangerous.
Better safe than sorry.
Yes.
Better safe than sorry. On one of my last notes on the whole email thing, I mean on the whole Facebook thing, is this thing where people don't know when to hit like. Because I'm all about that like
He is
thing.
mad
I mean,
like.
you know,
Like your page
if
all
somebody
day.
posts,
I go through everybody's comments.
you know, their parent or somebody passed, why would you hit like and then keep
Now,
going?
Alvin, in their defense,
What is
let
that
me
about?
tell you.
What you gonna hit like
You're
without a comment?
Alvin.
You're acknowledging
No, you
that.
just hit like
There
and
you
keep
go.
on going.
It's
No
acknowledging
comment.
But that's Facebook's fault
I'll
because
have to give you
Facebook
credit. I
should
agree.
put like, care, love, or something like that. Instead of hitting like, you'd want to hit I care
Well,
or I feel
I'm
that.
gonna need you to stop giving away free ideas.
I
okay,
know,
because
Because
see,
that
I
was
was
worth
I
something.
agree.
I think
agree.
Facebook should
All
have.
right, y'all heard me say it first.
on We
My name is
Speak,
Pierre Nicholson, and
don't
I'm on
take
I
his
just don't
idea.
want a don't like button.
I think it's only fair to have
Because if you
that.
don't like it, just move past
Just
it.
No,
move
no, no, no. I
past
think
it.
it's only fair.
They said
Have
they
it.
were talking
Like
about
with
it
the food. When
dislike.
you post
How
a
would you
food,
feel if
if
you
you-
put up your best picture
Well, no,
and you
I'm-
looked really handsome and just everyone
you
was
saw a
liking it and
big
then you saw
thumbs down?
one thumbs down
Then you
that was a
unfriend 'em.
non-like?
No.
No,
Oh my God.
Your friends can have a thing.
Okay, Mr. Trump. Hold on.
Well, Facebook has toyed with the idea of the dislike button.
Yeah.
So they have toyed with that, but I don't know how far
They're
it's
still
gone.
toying
Well,
with
it's just
it.
like when you post
They
food, like you said,
shouldn't.
it was some brown mush. There should be a thumbs down. You don't like
So
that.
people know don't
Actually-
post that.
Right,
Or you
right.
make a comment, not so much.
Actually,
so
you
much.
can kind of tell who doesn't like it by the number of likes you don't get. If you have 100 friends
Well,
and you get 3 likes,
They haven't looked at that stuff.
they've seen. Who hasn't
one
looked
that
at it?
doesn't
They're
look.
looking at it when they're driving down the street.
Well,
I
no,
stand
because
on
they're
my
eating
steps.
cereal.
Well, no, because we're going to talk about that too.
They're
Texting while
eating
driving.
cereal, so they.
well, but hold on, because we're going to get back to Facebook and some other things in our next show that we're going to do for next week, our I Speak show. So I'm going to have to wrap this up and take a commercial break before we end. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
We may not always agree on everything,
But we can all agree on the importance of looking out for our families and friends.
and standing together in the fight against HIV. Everyone should get tested for HIV at least once as part of routine health care.
Gay and bisexual men may benefit from more frequent HIV testing and should consider getting tested every 3 to 6 months.
Knowing your status and taking whatever next steps it requires makes you and our community
Stronger! HIV testing is free. Visit gettested.cdc.gov/stronger.
It's freezing in here.
I be reading.
Hey, man.
Let it freeze, girl.
Okay.
Don't you
No.
Hold on.
I've been cold the entire time.
No, I was
I
like,
got a jacket on.
Shayna's anemic.
I was like, the tape is in the wrong place. Okay.
I mean, we might as well be outside.
She got short sleeves and no pantyhose today.
Like, the tape.
Normally she has on
the
tights.
tape is in the wrong
Put on
might
these
as well take
socks,
this
Shayna,
outside
but
in the
seriously.
parking lot.
That ain't gonna keep her hot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will end our show for this week. And as we leave you today, we would like to pay special tribute to some of those lives lost in 2015. Our memories of them will forever be inseparable. As always, we thank you for watching and ask that you join us again when next we speak.
That's how I'll always be inseparable. Just you and me. It's so wonderful to know you'll always be around me. Incredible. That's what you are to me. Incredible. You bring out the woman in me with your style of love. Inseparable.